Welcome to ParaSQL. In this video, we're going to show you some application modules that were built to extend Shopify's capabilities in important ways. But keep in mind that ParaSQL is a general purpose platform that can be used to build applications on top of any existing system, build applications from scratch, and also pull data and integrate it just using SQL statements from any system, ERP, push it into any API such as Shopify, etc. So the capabilities go far beyond what you're seeing here in this video, but it's a good place to start. So on this screen, we have a list of vendors that we've created in ParaSQL. This is outside of Shopify since they don't really have the concept. So we have a list of vendor and a list of vendor items. And then, so each vendor that you click on has a certain number of vendor items. These are things you can purchase from them. They also differentiate between the vendor SKU and your SKU and how many units in the package so that you can map a vendor SKU to your SKU and you can map which item you order from the vendor restocks which inventory item. So if we were to look at a particular vendor, we can configure it here. If we can look on a particular item, we can configure it here. So note here we have a restocking threshold and a reorder quantity. The idea with the reorder threshold and the restock quantity is that we can then automatically generate purchase orders. So the system has automatically created a purchase order with the correct reorder quantities based upon the restock thresholds, whether it's a special order item, etc. All we need to do is simply change this to approved, and the purchase orders will go out to the vendor via email. When the vendor sends you the goods from the purchase order, you can add a receipt of goods entry. This allows you to log what was actually received versus what was ordered for accounting purposes, but also it modifies things like inbound quantity and quantity on hand in Shopify so that those numbers are always correct. Here you can see we just have a list of the products that are being pulled from Shopify. These are in real time. This is all editable. If I were to change this compare at price to another value and hit save, it would be updated in Shopify immediately. Here we have created a completely separate profile system in ParaSQL that integrates with Shopify to overcome their limit of only 3 options per product. The beauty of ParaSQL is that you can quickly build whatever it is that you need in terms of automation, customization, reports, dashboards, etc., without being limited by what any application vendor provides you. To begin using ParaSQL with Shopify, first create your ParaSQL account that is specifically set up as a Shopify edition. Next, over in Shopify, click on Apps, and at the bottom, click on Manage Private Apps. Down here, you'll be able to create a new private app, give it a name, and then change the access level you want. You probably want to change these all to read-write if you're going to use it with ParaSQL. When you're done with that, you will see that it creates an API key and a password that you can then use in ParaSQL. Once we have the Shopify API key and password for our private app, we can then come into the application we've created with ParaSQL, Tools, Configure Shopify Settings, and we can just copy and paste the API key, the password, and the shop URL here. The next step is to map some of the data endpoints in Shopify to virtual tables in ParaSQL. That's a mouthful, but basically we come over here, we click plus on the palette, we say map table from Shopify, and then we select a data source. There's only one in this case. Again, ParaSQL goes far beyond this. You could have ERP data sources and Shopify and be moving data between them, etc. So in Shopify, here are the endpoints that we have access to. So say if we wanted to map products, we would come down here and click products, and then we would just click create virtual table, and it would be created. And it would be over here on the palette. These orange tables are the ones that are mapped from other systems. So that's how you map a table from Shopify, and these are read-write. You build applications with them and write scripts against them as well. And then you can also create local tables, which are these black tables. Just create a normal database table, give it a name, my vendors, and then add columns, name, address, etc. There are advanced field types down here as well, so you can do document fields and images outside of there, even signature fields if you need to have some kind of tablet app for approval, maybe for warehouse sign out sign off on deliveries, etc. So now if we were to create a new blank application, so in creating a new application, you would typically drag off some tabs, and then you would start building out the UI. So maybe we wanted to see our products and our product variants, so we could drag off our products table as a report format just to be simple, and then we could drag off product variants if we wanted to be simple and drop it below here. Now all of these things can have data links, so we're going to say that when we click on a product, we want to only show its variants instead of showing all of it. So here we're going to click on a particular product, double click down here, and we can see that products ID is linked to product variants product ID. Now we can simply click test application, and you can see that as we click through different products, you can see the variants on those products. So it's a very simple example of building UI. So that is essentially how all of the screens in this app were built. There are buttons and controls, and you can add API scripts. So if you wanted to add a click event and do something special or make an API call, you could. But most of the time it's drag and drop. Like this button down here is connected to this object and tells it to export the data. Check out our other ParaSQL videos to get an idea of the capabilities. There's everything from charts, dashboards, modal panels. It's basically unlimited. People build entire ERP systems and run large companies on this. Before wrapping up, I wanted to point out that you have full ability to program both on the server side via ANSI SQL and procedural language extensions, as well as the neo-federated architecture described in our website. Fancy way for saying being able to access any system or API as though it was just a local database table. And also you have full programmability in the client and the web browser. So you have complete control over the data in the UI to build anything you need to, although 99% of it is going to be drag and drop. Finally, to share any application that you've built anywhere in the world on any device, you can click Add User, specify an email address, and the security role assigned to that user, etc. This is all covered extensively in other videos, and ParaSQL support is here to help you throughout the process. In short, you should think of ParaSQL not only as the fastest path to building applications that extend Shopify, but also the fastest route to integrate Shopify with your other systems, such as ERP, CRM, etc. That's it. Thank you for watching, and please check out our other videos.